So, El Gigante. This short was odd. It's like, really, I don't dislike it. It's pretty good. But basically, it's about a father a family who's on in Mexico and they're trying to go to the U.S. His father only has enough money to pay the smuggler for his wife and daughter. And it's actually it sets up pretty nice where it's kind of heartfelt, and you're like, oh man, this guy is trying to do the best for his family, and he gives his daughter his cross necklace, and his daughter gives him back in return her little doll, and it's like you see him walking through the desert trying to make it on his own. The smuggler takes him away and all that. Smuggler is an a-hole to him. This movie's only like 14 minutes long. So, for a 14-minute long film, it had a pretty strong setup. He tries to go over the border, he finds a fence, he hops over this little fence, and I guess he was super dehydrated, about to pass out. And then a truck comes along, or it lights up, it's at night, and you hear some whistling and throws him like those little burlap sack. Wow, my brain said loinskin. Not loinskin. I don't know. The little leather sack of water. Anyway, he gives him the water, and he chugs some of it, and he's coughing it up, and immediately it's like he passes out. And it's not really clear whether he passed out because he was gonna pass out, or he passed out because there's something in the water. That's what I thought it was gonna be, like a clear setup and something in the water. And so he wakes up, and he's got this big sack on his head that looks like alligator skin mixed with a burlap sack mixed with a pineapple, and it's stuck. The bottom is sewn to his neck, and so he tries to take it off. You get a little bit of gore there. You're like, it doesn't look like it couldn't come off if you just snip the wires off, or he got no figure. So he looks around, and he's in a wrestling ring, and outside the wrestling ring is this real nasty family. Like it. The movie crossed over from something kind of real into this very funky bubble of a land. And you're really quickly introduced to the guy you see. You see him, the guy that saved him, quote unquote. You see him briefly looking at our main character when he tosses him the water sack. But when you see him next, he's got that old, what was that, Pokemon face meme, the creepy one where the guy's teeth are like over the lips and he goes, So he's making that face, and then you see the rest of the family, and this little, he's got a pregnant lady who I assume is the wife, who's standing there, she's sitting down, rubbing her belly. She smiles, and her two front teeth look like yellow chiclets, like really yellow. And there's a little girl, and then there's a old elderly woman who's blind, who's mumbling to herself, and then there's a little person dressed like a bloody Ewok. It's just rather odd, and so you're like, oh, they captured these people. That's cool. And so he gets prodded with a cattle prod. So yeah, so they have something to keep him in there, I guess. I guess the little Ewok man could attack him if he tried to leave. But then in jumps El Gigante. Big dude wearing the same burlap sack, pineapple, crocodile skin thing. And immediately picks our main character up, who we don't know his name, man. Picks the man up, headbutts him, boom. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, is there going to be some sort of, you're gonna fight and somehow come out on top. No, dude gets wrecked. Dude gets everything broken. Seems like he snaps his back, or at least cracks some vertebrae. Yeah, then Big El Gigante, after screaming at him a couple times, jumps off the corner of the ring, and everything goes black. You don't see anything. So I thought that was the end of the movie, but apparently 14 minutes is longer than I thought. So dude wakes up chained up, upside down. I guess your punishment for losing the match is now that you die, even though I thought you were gonna die anyway. The old muttering elderly woman was like, we have more meat. And it's like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. Oh, something I forgot to mention. The pregnant wife is just like feeling herself up. She is loving every second of our main character getting mucha lucha all over the ring. Yeah, it's real nasty. It's real nasty. Not nice at all, because she touches the hoo-ha-hee. And then, oh yeah, so back to the meat. So then Mr. Gigante, who at first I thought he was against his will, but is he not against his will? I don't know. It's hard to tell so much in 14 minutes, especially without exposition. So I think the Ewok man and El Gigante are willing participants in this. What do they get out of it? I don't know. At one point, the dude's teeth get knocked out, and El Gigante gives it to the Ewok, who licks it. Real weird. Like, I don't know. He doesn't lick it like candy. He licks it like you would be licking a boom. And oh yeah, so he's got these two cleavers, and he's just like, he's cutting. And so there's this belt that was like, I guess he had this championship belt, and so it had like melted down gold, and that's what made the belt. And so as our main character is hanging upside down, about to be gutted, he looks at the belt, and the belt's got what I assume is the cross that he gave his daughter melted into it. So it's like, but then what's the time span on this thing? That really stuck out as odd. It didn't make sense. It's like, why even bring in that aspect at all, that the girl and the mother were taken here instead? El Gigante slits the guy's throat, so the last thing he thinks of is his daughter. So it's like all that setup kind of wasted, it felt like. And then I guess one of the main points of the story, since it's so short, is this little set piece of gore. Like, it wasn't enough to just cut the dude's throat. No, we have to dig into his stomach and cut open his stomach, and then they show the stomach starting to be separated, and El Gigante starts reaching in and grabbing guts out, and it's like, ooh, and then he pulls out part of the intestine and waves it above his head along with his belt. All the while, this family, the Pokemon dad and the pregnant tittling mom and their daughter and the Ewok and the old woman, they're all like kind of writhing in ecstasy behind them. It was just like, oh, okay. And then that scene's done, and then the credits start rolling, and it shows the family while the credits roll. They have basically a taco stand. So the big sign was basically pork tacos. Like, a bunch of people are trying to get this. They're trying to pay for it as much as possible. They love all the food that this family serves. And then the rest of the credits is just every person stuffing their face with these tacos, which is the meat of the man that was overall the movie was okay. I had some strong feelings about the inclusion of the cross and melted into the belt. Made the whole movie time frame kind of fall apart. Um, but we don't know how much time has passed since he was trying to get to the other side of the border, so it could have worked. It's just like I would have rather them kept that out. It's for 14 minutes. It tells a pretty coherent story. Um, I was hoping that he'd live. I was hoping that he'd kill El Gigante and maybe become the next El Gigante. I don't know. At least something. But no, he was just another statistic in a line of statistics. And I guess Mr. El Gigante really just loves to wrestle. And the Ewok loves the Ewok. I mean, you're not really wasting your time watching it. It's there. It is what it is. It's 14 minutes. Shoot. It's pretty good for 14 minutes. What are you going to do? You know? Short story. I got you. I understand. Dang, those people at the end. They were just no table manners. Just literally stuffing their face and then just like mushing the food all over their face. Just for like that yuck factor. But I'll give the movie like 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's it. El Gigante, ooh.